Yo, Legend of Dragoon is happening right here. Oh, I forgot to open this, so now I have that. I think I was chasing Lloyd down the mountain or something. Clearly what I was actually doing was getting involved in that random battle. This random battle. Yeah. It's funny because like I kind of have a bad memory sometimes for small details. So like I'm a write it down type of guy, right? That's the best way to describe it. If I need to remember to be somewhere, or where to go, or like a specific address or a number or something, I have to jot it down. I think it's why I appreciate games that let you collect information and display it really well. Like if you've ever played the game Shadows of Doubt, it's a PC title. It's currently in early access where you play a detective. You can put all of your information on one of those like old-timey like corkboard type things, like strings connecting them. And that is incredibly useful for visualizing the information. Me, myself, it's very easy to forget. So like, I recall the Divine Dragon in the fight, and Lloyd cut out the Divine Dragoon spirit. And it's funny because this isn't like, it hasn't like been a long period of time. It was yesterday. But whatever, it happens, right? It happens. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where I tend to leave off at the end of dramatic moments. But in this circumstance, it was like kind of a scene transition. Ugh. Alas. Doesn't really matter. Alright. I'm sure by the time I get to the bottom of the mountain or something, the game will let me know. What I'm curious about is that item over there or below me worth getting? Oh, hey, Lloyd. Lloyd! Yeesh. Ugh, I didn't know he was one of the Winglies. Rose? Rose, come on. Ugh. Ugh. Can you tell me who I am? I thought you were dead. Huh? Don't worry, I'm carrying out your will. We took this world back together. I won't let them ruin it. Virage. Embryo. The moon. With black power. Ugh. Black power? Are you talking about the black monster? Neat. 18 years ago. Ugh. Stay here. take care of Dart. Your father is a strong person. You have that strength in you. So, you can wait here by yourself, okay? Where are you going? I'm going back to the village to fight. Really? I will protect your hometown with your father. Live strong. I mean, he will, but that is an incredibly unfair expectation. Hey kid, your entire village and support structure has been destroyed. Okay, well, we're gonna go die too, even though we do not have to. I don't know, grow up as an orphan by yourself in the woods. Lol, like, that's horrible parenting. Mom? Dad? This is my dad's important shiny stone. Yeah, I'm sure that was the family discussion. Hey, Dart, remember, don't go touching my shiny important stone now. It's very important to me. Like, that... I don't know how that came up, but okay. Mom, Dad. Count 108 years, and when the moon that never sets glares red, the moon child descends to the earth and shall give a holy blessing to the world. Thester said, what really appears is not the moon child, but the black monster. What kind of relationship exists between the black monster who destroys all and the moon child who blesses the world? Rose, what do you know about this? Dart, Rose. Finally, I found you guys. Oh boy, Rose, she passed out. Move away, I'll carry Rose first. But we'll fade to black because it's expensive to animate. Oh, hey, look at that. We'll do 50% of it. I'm not saying it would be super engaging to watch her manually lift up two people up a cliffside. I'm just saying. Darn, I'm beaten. It's my fault letting him go. I apologize for it. It is not your fault, Rose. Nobody knew he was a Wingley who can use magic. Don't worry, we will find out where he went. I agree. Lloyd's objectives are to steal the Divine Moon objects. Miranda, there is no need for you to hide it. Tell us about the Divine Moon object and meals so. And she's just like, oh, god damn it. So displeased or something. It's not like you, Miranda. Don't hesitate. I guess there's no choice but to tell everything. The Divine Moon objects are said to be brought by Wingleys, and it is said that they have a dreadful magic power concealed within. That is the reason why they were never allowed to be taken outside. A national treasure that has been kept a close secret. It is called the Moon Mirror. The successive thrones have been the keys to opening the seal. Oh, it cannot be. Queen Teresa is in danger. Not in so much danger that I can't briefly go check if this is the tunnel that leads to a chest. Oh no, I'm slaying baby dragons. This is just inappropriate. Oh, they're literally called baby dragons. Oh, wow. I was just being like guessy, but now these are infants. Jeez. Baldur's Gate 3 of its era. Come on, folks. Oh, okay. Am I? Here, let's just go special and blow these things out of water, eh? Because I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, you know what? I haven't seen Jade Dragon. Let's see it. That sounds fun. We'll use dragons against dragons. That has never in the history of fantasy ever gone bad. Perfectly serviceable solution. Rebellions, chosen ones, any of that type of deal. Yeah, if you have dragons, they have dragons. It's fine. You're in the clear. Oh, okay. I like how canon, dragons in this universe are like 50% imposing physiological lizards, and then 50% like artillery from the future. It's like there is no such thing as a dragon that does not also have a pulse torpedo launcher attached to its abdomen, which, as far as design goes, really cool. I'm a fan of it. Don't take that as a critique. I'm just pointing it out as a distinguishing factor. Okay, so I got to a chest, but it's a different one, and I got Giganto armor. That sounds sick. Hey, Kongle. I can only imagine this armor is going to suit you better. Oh yeah. Sick. All right, buddy, take that. I don't imagine this axe. I have not like kept up with this type of stuff at all, which is fine. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with whatever is here. Cause like, yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm happy with how it's going. We'll just chug along here. It's funny, I got a chest, and it was obviously worth doing, but it was a completely different item and passage than I was expecting. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, is there something I have that can affect all of them? I doubt magma is gonna, yeah, let's do this. Let's see if that works. I don't even know if this is one of those you press buttons for ones. I think it's like when it's multi or not. I don't know. Cool. Let's hope the fire that I see on these folks is indicative of a weakness. Well, okay, all right, perfect. Great. Using up item slots and proceeding fast. Oh my god, I'm getting more magic as I'm trying to get rid of it. Don't get me wrong, gushing magma I'm sure is excellent. I'm sure it's, the best option. What the heck? Alright, whatever. I give up trying to find the one I was looking at before. I give up. Let's go chase after Lloyd more. Seriously, am I gonna get random encounters in every tunnel? No? Okay, it's gonna be right after I exit the tunnel. That's fine, I guess. Nice. Yeah, geez, I feel like it's gonna be half the episode gone just before I get off this mountain with all the random battles that I'm being thrown into. Do I have anything else to do? Anything cool here? Yeah, let's try this one out. Nice. Bam. Love it. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to go quick. Gotta go fast is my current mindset. Not even because I'm trying to rush anything, just because I'm trying to like get off this mountain. And it's not really like I need the levels. I have performed my grinding duty as far as I am concerned. I am in a pretty strong place with my main characters. But I've always had the issue where I'm not really great at training up a whole party. I actually really like circumstances where you are either forced to use your whole party or you're forced to use multiple groups in different situations. So like you look at as frustrating as it can be, right? Like the System XCOM 2, where if somebody takes injuries, even if they succeed, they might be off the roster for a little bit. I am a big fan of that because once I find a play style that I like, it's very tough for my brain to want to change that up. And that tends to be the same with parties and the composition there. I did the same thing when I played Dragon Age. I basically had the same party through the entirety of the game. Because maybe, again, there's a bunch of compounding things. It's the introvert in me, like, it's just a lot of people. I don't really, you know? But I also like consistency. But it's nice when you can kind of, as some people don't love it, but I like kind of being forced to change up my approach in certain situations in video games. So I'm not bothered by like, I don't know, for example, like one of my favorite cliches in a video game is when you're like thrown into a prison or something and you have to figure out how to deal with the situation or find gear that's serviceable and you don't have anything. Like that build up of like having nothing, sharpening a bone, stabbing a dude in the neck, stealing his baton, clubbing another person to death, maybe getting a piece of armor, maybe getting a sword, you know, like that progression as you free yourself from like a prison or an encampment or the enemy has, you know, kidnapped you or whatever. I love that story and that progress. It's very rewarding. Like for example, Fable 2, it's one of my favorite examples of that circumstance. Like when you excuse me, kind of get put away in that game, or arguably even the first one. So there's other games that have a fun kind of thing, and then there's some games where it's like oh god, Escape from Butcher Bay, like the Chronicles of Riddick game. I think that's a really cool game and it's well made, but when I went back to it, I found it disappointing how quickly you kind of like get your stuff together. Like you very quickly kind of progress to here's my shotgun, my assault rifle. And yeah, you can sneak around and shiv people. But I wanted more of the being a prisoner and kind of trying to negotiate my way through every interaction, whether it was combat or otherwise. But, whatever. I wonder where Sister Miranda and the other people are, and if they're safe. To make sure of that, we, the Sacred Knighthood, are going to act as reinforcements. Don't worry, there is no way our Sister Miranda can lose. Yes, indeed, we cannot imagine her losing. But I cannot imagine that the giant dragon will lose either. Please, don't say such an ill-omened thing. I'm sorry, ma'am. Sister Miranda, Dart, and company are legendary dragoons. We might not be needed. Dragoons? They are mere humans anyways. Who is it? Humans don't need to know my name. Oh no, are you a Wingly? Yes, I am. We were the rulers, view humans in ancient emptiness. And now, I am your executioner. Oh my god. This is what you asked for. This is the great battle of liberation. And your scream is its overture. You conceited humans, go to hell. The conceited one is you. Oh, you are Mr. Lloyd? You are so easily overtaken. You blocked the magic power. Who are you? I don't need to answer to you. Watch your mouth. Mr. Lloyd. I won't let anybody hinder the liberation of Winglies. I'll annihilate all humans. Liberation of Winglies? You are so old-fashioned. A world without humans won't be any different from the forest you were cooped up in. I have made many sacrifices for my ideals. But your ideals cannot be achieved unless you annihilate everything. Of course, my grudge, my hatred, I will settle them all with human lives. You should not be alive. I won't die alone. Mr. Lloyd. I went out of my way. Oh, you are wounded. Please, let us treat you at the castle. Neat. Not the town. The statement. It's, that's something, you know, like, Lloyd is clearly a Wingly, but he is not aligned with their isolationism, nor does he seem to be actively begrudged by the previous Dragon campaign. His motivations seem to be something else altogether. Now, there are different pieces that we've kind of picked up at this point in time. You know, we know there's a tree of life. We know there's a bunch of different species that were given life. We have heard of the moon objects, and I believe the moon child. So these are all interesting things. We know there is a moon that never sets. And, you know, there are some things in, like, what we now know to be a cutscene depicting the fall of the capital that we visited just recently. where we got the staff from in the first place. There's that cutscene. Rose loses all of her friends. We see them fighting in their dragoon forms against Virages. But that place was the capital city that we knew as like the Forsaken Land. The Wingley sent us. Now that's fascinating. We did see one person there that we don't know about in really the story. I think we heard their name. And we saw the person. They were like gray. They had runes in their face. They had crazy eyes. And they didn't seem to be anything that we really know of. So that has to be the assumption, is that they were either like some powerful Wingley, some aligned sorcerer, some evil dude, some, religious zealot, maybe pushing the separation of Wingleys and humans. Who knows, right? That would be my guess. The third party that Lloyd is aligned with. Commander of Sacred Knights, Sister Miranda. Oh, Commander of Knights. We were successful defeating the Divine Dragon, and what happened to you? Are you injured? Queen Teresa was abducted. What did you say? By who? A man called Lloyd. We are too late. What were you doing? Do you know where he took her? Well, Sister Wink might know something. My sisters are safe, aren't they? Everyone is waiting for the group to come back to the Crystal Palace. Okay, we'll go back. I can only imagine it would be illegal for them to just be like, hey, we sent you this. This is where you gotta go. Okay, bye. Like, every single person is like some boomer who really loves being in the office to work. It's just like, we have to see each other. Otherwise, how can we possibly do paperwork? So that's always fun. Are there two people here? Yeah, there are. Great. I had to be honest, I have no idea what the team who developed this was on when they thought 32 items is an acceptable amount of inventory. I have no doubt that it's like something related to system specs, like literal memory requirements or limitations in the generation or something like that. Or maybe they were like expected memory limitations, or they didn't want to take up a bunch of space on the memory card, or they didn't want to commit your items to a greater like storage solution, so it's limited. Maybe it's like an imposed challenge, right? But like, I'm just trying to think about it, and I don't really know how significant items would be from a performance standpoint. Because like, if you look at it from like a database standpoint, sure, like there's a visual representation, right? Like if we go and like we look, like, sure, okay, if we click the item, we see these things are here. So there's like a bunch of ways you could design an inventory screen. You could have something that like pulls the information from here and projects it in a different way. So like on the back end, maybe there aren't two lines that individually say item 1 healing fog, item 2 healing fog. Maybe it's just like, here's all the items you have separated by the amount you have. So healing fog, comma 2, healing breeze, comma 1. And then the code translates that to inventory space based on some internal sorting algorithm or ordering or logic, right? There's a bunch of ways to do that. I think the most archaic way to do it would be to item per item hard code each position. So like Instead of letting it be naturally sorted and any item can sit anywhere, it's like it's a printed list of 1 to 32. And anytime you move something around, it has to overwrite the position instead of just like listing what you have based on an amalgamation or a order somewhere else. So that would be like the dumbest way, because that would be, instead of however many items that you have, like a logical amount of items listed, it would be always 32 lines of code. But even then, it's 32 lines. Like the PS1 isn't some early console that couldn't handle 32 lines of code. So like, I don't know. I don't get the inventory restriction. It seems weird. What do you mean that Queen Teresa was taken away? What happened? Let me tell you. A few days ago, when the howling of the dragon from the Mountain of Mortal Dragons stopped, we assumed he had been successfully vanquished. Everyone was happy about it. How long has it been since we have stopped hearing the howling of the divine dragon? It's been about 1 week now, has it? What? Don't worry, Sister Luana said the feeling of the divine dragon is gone. I am back. I have good news for you, Queen Teresa. As Sister Luana said, it seems they defeated the divine dragon. I'm glad. Now we can focus on the recovery of the country. I appreciate it, Wink. Please give the knights their well-earned rest. About the knights, my knighthood is currently being treated. A wingly who had something against humans suddenly raided us. Winglies attacked you? According to Miranda, they are a friendly species. Some of the winglies are militant. This gentleman repelled them so that we were able to come back to the castle safe and sound. Let me introduce him. His name is Mr. Lloyd, Your Majesty. It is a pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Not only that, it was Mr. Lloyd who gave us the good news of the successful vanquishing of the Divine Dragon. How did you find out about it? It was a coincidence. I saw Sister Miranda and her companions who completed the vanquishing in the Mount Dragon Tomb. I understand. Let me express my gratitude to you. Actually, it was not the first time I was saved by Mr. Lloyd. Oh, I remember. This gentleman is the man that the fate's Sister Wink was talking about, isn't he? Queen Teresa, she was saved from the bandits in denial by this gentleman too. It wasn't a coincidence, was it? Helping Wink and coming here? Sister Luana, what are you talking about? The murderous intention you conceal inside. You cannot disguise it in front of me. Wink, steady, stay back. I felt it too. Something very wrong. I hadn't intended to make a scene. However, sometimes it can't be avoided. Queen Teresa. Mr. Lloyd, what on earth? Do not come closer. What do you want? I desire the moon mirror. The moon mirror? How do you know about it? You don't need to worry about that. You should just take me there, Your Majesty. Answer me from the beginning. From the beginning, it was your purpose. Wink, get away. I just desire the power to create a utopia. Queen Teresa, he is reading your mind. Shall we go to the last divine moon object? The last divine moon object? Is he going to end this? Miranda, where's the moon mirror? In the Tower of Flanvel, to the west of Cashua Glacier. Teresa is the key to the tower. I'll take care of the rest. Sister Miranda, we will bring Queen Teresa back. We are not going to let Lloyd get what he wants. Cool. All right. I love how Lloyd is just like the most like teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid. Like he is that cliche in the best way. I think he's a cool like protagonist or antagonist more accurately. I think it's interesting because like the Final Fantasy nerd in me is a little bit like is this Cloud versus Squall? Like what's going on here? Because visually, they kind of match those characters. You know what I mean? Dart definitely looks like a Cloud. And, well... Lloyd kind of gives a Squall vibe. Hey, nice. I can go this way now. It would be cool to, heal? But it doesn't seem to be that the inn there was good or whatever, so I'll just go. Because, like, yeah, we're not done this episode yet. We're gonna keep on going. So I'll just throw a save. And we'll keep on trucking. I actually think there was the inn there. I don't know what I'm talking about because I think that's where Shauna is, right? Maybe it's worth trying to go. I'm gonna make a bunch of wasted time with my indecision now. That's okay. No, not one of these things. Just the one of them too.
Yes. Go.
Cool. Yay, I got the thing. Oh, hey, game. Thank you. Oh, come on. Just so frustrating and pointless. Yeah, come on, broski. Great. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see if I can remember which building is the inn. I think it's on like the second screen to the right. You know, if there's one thing in this game that maybe I'm missing a little bit, like compared to other RPGs, is the different methods of transportation. You know, like we've been on a boat, sure, and that was cool. But it would be nice to like own something or get like a airship or something. As is, it's kind of like, eh? I guess I'll just walk everywhere because it's clearly taking me weeks, right? Like that was the implication of that cutscene just a little bit ago. As far as I could tell, that was, anyways, what was being said. It was like, yeah, it looks like the thing was defeated a week ago. And like, for me, the battle had just happened. But clearly these steps of travel are taking longer than my understanding of it was. Which is, again, that's fine. It's just like, interesting, you know?
Yes. Go. 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 Moon's right.
I think it's tough to track time appropriately. Like if you look at like, you know, D&D or something like that, or whatever you want to play, Pathfinder or something. Sometimes it's tough to track the food you need and like how specific do you want to be? Do you want to just be like, you need 3 meals a day? Or like you have to bring a wagon to have enough food. You need to have space for it. You want to like count the calories of everything that you're cooking and eating, and like you can go really up to the depth of the party that you're playing with, the group of people you're playing with, and you know, whatever is fine at that point. What a cold place. It pierces through my aged bones. Is a land where the earth is eternally covered under ice. I understand that it must be harsh on someone who has never been there. Darn, I'm totally dying. Do you often visit such a place, Miranda? It's been a while since I came all the way here. But I would often come here to find solace for my loneliness. You've got such a kind mother like Queen Teresa. How could you have a lonely time? Her Majesty Teresa is not my birth mother. My true Earth Mother abandoned me. After that, I let Her Majesty Teresa. I met Her Majesty. Her Majesty Teresa cherished me when I was alone, as if I were her real daughter. Since then, I've never felt loneliness again. Pretty good parent. You know, like that's what you want to aim for. I personally won't have children, and even beyond that, I have taken surgical action to make sure I can't. Never liked kids. They kind of gross me out, if I'm being entirely honest. Like, I'm the type of person where I don't even want to be in the same room as children. I don't want to be somewhere they are. I don't like hearing them. I don't like talking about them. I don't like them in stories, right? Like, I'm not a person that's interested in the whole like, oh, we can make more people thing. Like, people kind of suck. And I think like children just have all these traits that I don't know anything about or want to interact with, so I'm not a parent. But I do think people who choose to should be the best parents they can be based on evidence and things that we know about the brain and children themselves and what's good for them and what they need. And it's entirely possible, right? Like, there's tons of different personality types and types of intelligence, and we all have different benefits to our personalities and detriments. It's entirely possible that you can be the type of person who is a parent, but does not have a personality type that is compatible with what a child needs. And what I mean by that is, I've already got a heat blade, so dumb. Children need support, they need emotional security, they need consistency, they need guidance, they need mentorship, and they don't have the capacity, typically anyways, and not by default, to be emotionally reserved. So if you're the type of person who like really likes to keep things to your chest and punishes yourself when you have emotional outbursts, you may really not be the type of person who should have a kid, because the reality of that situation is you have to train somebody to have those skills. And I think a lot of people who are parents don't look at parenting that way. It's just like, this is what you do, or this is an item on the checklist, or this is an expectation of being human, or this is a peer pressure, cultural pressure situation, and you end up having kids. But a lot of those people, like, they're not taking the time required to also process, like, how do we have these kids and how do we make them good adults? It's really just about the acquiring of them. That a lot of people look at parenting as. Everything else is trying to survive it, or openly regretting the decision. I've met tons of people who have kids who were like, you know what? I wouldn't have done that if I knew what it was going to be like. And it's a weird statement in a sense, right? Because like, if this was the second year reality existed, it would make sense. Like, oh, you didn't hear what children were like? Okay, yeah, we just found out we can have those last year. They're brand new to everything. You know, totally valid. Oh, sorry that happened to you. But now it's like, you know, the human population isn't small. Society hasn't been like a trend over the past 10 years or something. So the idea, the implication that anyone could be like, I just didn't know that kids needed stuff and would take things and time out of my day. Like, that's a dumb excuse. Like, let's be completely honest about that. At this point in time, there's no like, oh, what? Like, kids need money and need like new shoes and need to be taught how to speak? Like, no. Come on. So, from that front, bad parents, I think, are worse nowadays because the exposure to what parenting can look like and what good parenting looks like and the support that we need on all different levels is so widespread. You really have to intentionally be trying to make a bad choice or live under a rock. So, when I see like people who are like younger than me, who are already on their second or third kid, I really can tell they don't have a plan. And don't get me wrong, if I was talking about someone who's like in an incredibly strong financial position and they were ahead with their career and they understood what it took to raise a kid and they came from a really strong, healthy support system, it'd be a different thing. None of the people I know who are having kids young are that way. It's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't want to do anything about this, so I guess now I have a kid. And like, that seems to be the primary way it's worked out for most of the people that I know. There's no like consideration, there's no intentional design, which really doesn't bode well for humanity. Because like, if we're made in God's image, then like God just wanted to get laid and we're just here. Peddler brother Segundo, customers. There's really customers here? I cannot believe it, brother Segundo. Oops, sorry, I forgot about you momentarily. I sell weapons, and I sell items. We are peddlers. It must be fate meeting you here. It's such a chance. Why don't you buy something? Come on, think of this as charity. Yeah, I'll buy some weapons if you got good ones. Okay. Yeah, why not? Yeah, better armor? Let's do it. Better armor for Albert as well? Sick. Yeah, I figured he had the knight shield, so that's probably gonna be a bonus for him. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I might leave that. And again, I'm not even gonna bother sorting my arms. It's whatever. It's there. Okay, there's other people around. Great. Oh, wait, I don't know why I'm going back down. Didn't look like I could go anywhere there. Ow. Actually, you know what? If I'm being completely honest, like, I genuinely view most of, like, having children as a sign that people have bought into propaganda. And I don't mean this like a, oh, you know, doing what your parents did, like, you gotta rebel. Like, I don't mean it in like a pig-headed way. I just think a lot of the systems that we live in right now, the economic systems, the system of land ownership, and who owns businesses, who has the power to make those decisions and sway what other people get to do politically, economically, etc., etc. Those people and those systems want to encourage rampant childbirth because it means they have a continued influx of workers for their businesses. A lot of the things that we have right now, a lot of the systems, a lot of the businesses, a lot of the work, if people don't keep on having kids, then who's going to do those jobs? And I think that is at the forefront of a lot of people's minds when they are taking away access to birth control or abortion. I think, you know, when people are pushing a very big family mindset, they're doing it not because, like, they're thinking of all the happy faces at Christmas time and all the little socks that you put over the fireplace. That's not the image that these people have in their mind, and it's not their goal. They want as many work boots lined up at the front door as possible. They want as many trucks in the driveway as possible, as many, you know, consoles being sold to you per month, as many movies, as many meals, as many tables and plates and forks and spoons. That is more the perspective when society is pushing children. And it's a shame because I think a lot of people are dooming their own children to repeat less than satisfactory lives. And it's the same lives that they may have lived. Like, you know, there's people who go through school and maybe like that period of their life, the childhood up to the end of high school, is the most fun they've had in their entire life. And then they have children. And they don't know themselves how to kind of get beyond that stage. So the children that they have, for the most part, they just repeat the same cycle. They do this 1 to 18. And then they haven't really often been given the skills to do anything greater. So they end up in the same sort of job, the same sort of position, the same sort of lifestyle, maybe a worse one because they didn't have the benefits that you had going into it. So you just end up creating like these kids who live crappy lives and then have to work forever. And like, why throw someone into that? Hold. According to my memory, the Tower of Flanville should be this way. Cool, it's a good thing that's the way I was going. Oh. Okay, well. Whatever, I was going up. It looked, I would imagine the tower was up. I was going up. But whatever. I think that's also why, for the most part, and again, I to each their own, right? But I don't really understand why a lot of people seem to get like ruined by learning that they were adopted. And I don't mean to unsettle anyone who had that happen to them and was upset by it. But I guess it's just like for me, because like again, I don't associate really, really closely with any sort of like family ties. That it's all just hubbub to me. Relations and stuff, bloodlines, whatever. Mine dies with me. It's hilarious. But it's never really been important to me that I'm related to anyone. And just as well, I largely view people creating other children as just like a mandate that was handed down to them that probably wasn't challenged and they've just adhered to. You know, like I view my birth largely as meeting an obligation that was set for my parents. You know, like I don't think they were like, well, we've created this role in a company and we've made a room and we've built a workshop and you know this person just gets to come in here and live this perfect life we've set up for them. It was just like, oh, we should have kids, and then they did. Like I love my mom. I don't love my dad. My dad's dead and he sucks, so you know that's okay. But I love my mom. I don't think she like had a great picture of why she was having a child, other than the blanket feeling of like, ooh, I should have a kid, or this is what I should do, or I'm being pressured to do it because of whatever, right? Like, I think that's a weird thing to do to somebody else, to create them. Especially if you're just gonna be like, all right, you know, do whatever. Like, I don't think like people be, you know, creating children to being super strict with them is good either, but have some actual reasoning for creating a human being. Don't just be like, oh, I think it would be real cute to see what my face mixed with this person's would be like. Like, that's really selfish and creepy. And don't be like, oh, I want someone to look after me when I get older, because like don't create service workers. Like, what are you? Like, that's not very fair. I can't carry any more items? Oh my god. I gotta use some of my attack items, because I don't really have many healing things left, and at a certain point, this is gonna be dumb. Now again, I recognize that I can go down and get this other item. Maybe I will, if I'm being forced to do this. Yeah, might as well. A phoenix plume? Is that... avoids bewitching, confusion, fear, and dispiriting. Yeah, let's throw it on. Why not? Let's give Dart a little bit of magic defense compared to Albert and Kongle. Why not, right? He's a fire guy. Let's put a phoenix plume on him. I have to imagine the phoenix plume kind of looks like a Roman the Centurion helmet. So that's what I'm going with. And geez, this is pretty much right on the dot for when I usually end an episode. So that's awesome. Wait, oh god. Okay, come on. Ooh, this is gonna be funny. Can I get onto the save? Hey, I think I did it. I did. Okay. Thanks for watching this episode of Legend of Dragoon. Catch you around the next one. Have a good wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Bye.